Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. I hope your day is off to a fantastic start. Hope you're excited about an in-depth perfume review because that's what we're doing today. Anyway, I'm going to be reviewing the last of the Snif perfumes that were sent to me in PR. I am always upfront with all of you when things are sent to me for consideration. Snif did reach out a couple of months ago, and I was honestly really surprised that they even noticed my channel, but they asked if I might be interested in reviewing one of their fragrances, and I said yes, absolutely. I've actually had the Snif Tarte Deco perfume on my perfume must-buy list. I have a little list in my office of different personal fragrances, things that I'm interested in trying out for me, and things that I'd like to review here on my channel. And that Tarte Deco has been on there for several months. I love me a good cherry scent, and if you too enjoy cherry fragrances, you must check that one out. But I assume that they might send me just like the Tarte Deco, and like I would just share that. But they were super generous, and they did send me 4 of their fragrances to be able to share with you guys. I have already reviewed the Vanilla Vice, which is actually their newest fragrance. That one is now available at Ulta if you would rather purchase from a store that makes returns a little bit more easy in terms of just being able to drive there and take something back if it doesn't work out for you. You can definitely order the Vanilla Vice from Ulta at this point. I have reviewed the Creme Couture, and honestly that one it's a holy grail fragrance for me now. I just fell in love with that particular one because it smells so almost spot on as a dupe for my beloved Kringle Candle Cherry Donut. I can't tell you the amount of times that I have been burning a candle or melting a wax melt and have thought to myself, I really wish that I had this fragrance as a perfume or as a body spray or a body lotion, just so that I could like wear it because it's so delicious. Well, Snif made my dreams come true with Creme Couture, and I know several of you also purchased it after my video and you absolutely fell in love with it just like I did. So I'm so glad that we can all smell like jelly donuts now. So I reviewed that one in depth already, and then also they did send me the Tarte Deco, which was super generous of them. So I will go ahead and link the 3 reviews that are already live on my channel in the description box right below. I will also put a link to where to purchase the fragrance that we're reviewing today. So Sweet Ash was the last one that they sent along. Now, because these came from like the Snif website, I did receive these little samples with all of the perfumes, like the full-size perfume bottles. Actually, if you order from the Snif website, your perfume will arrive sealed in plastic. And the point of that is to have you try out the sample first, so that if the fragrance doesn't agree with you, whether it just doesn't jive with your body chemistry or it just smells a little bit different from maybe what you expected it to, as long as you just use this little guy here, it's very easy to return the one that, you know, the full size, if you will, and to either exchange for another fragrance or to get your money back. So I feel like Snif makes it very easy. And it can be hard to blind purchase a perfume. I totally understand that. So this is why I think it's so great that they are in Ulta, because I don't know that a lot of like Ulta carries the Snif fragrances in store. For example, my store does not. So it's kind of nice that if I purchase this online from Ulta, then if I don't like it, I can always go back in store and very easily, you know, get a refund or exchange it for something else that I might find in store. But the Snif website also makes it very easy for you. So at any rate, a big thank you to Snif for sending all 4 of these fragrances out. I am very appreciative of that. The first 3 I absolutely loved. This one here, I think it's a very nice fragrance, but honestly, this, Craig is gonna be wearing this. This is a much more masculine type of fragrance. Snif does have a little bit more of, I think, a unisex type of approach to many of their fragrances. And this one here, I think, is probably the most masculine one that I have smelled so far. and it doesn't really speak to me and my personal preferences. Now, I have worn it and I have sweetened it up myself by pairing it with the Vanilla 28, this beauty right here. This particular vanilla is a little bit heavier. It's a little bit deeper vanilla, maybe almost like a borderline smoky type of vanilla fragrance. So these two pair really well together. So I have worn this on its own. I've just been using the little sample guy first because why not? And I've been pairing it with the Vanilla 28, and honestly, it makes it a lot more enjoyable for me because it just gives it that extra oomph of vanilla. There's actually some vanilla in here to begin with, as well as some tonka, but we'll talk about the fragrance notes here in a second. But the one thing that I really want to mention in this video is that, listen guys, on March 23rd, so just a couple days from now, I was really waiting to upload my review of this because I wanted it to be kind of close to when this was happening. But Ulta is doing their current sale situation, which, by the way, how are you guys feeling about this? The way that Ulta is choosing to do their sales now. I feel like they have mostly eliminated their 20% off coupons. I hope that's not a permanent change, but I think Ulta's kind of trying a different approach to be able to compete with Sephora, and I don't know how I feel about it. But if you are interested in picking up Sweet Ash, if this slightly more masculine fragrance appeals to you, you can actually get this on March 23rd for 50% off, which is a screaming deal for this particular fragrance here. So I will go ahead and link it at Ulta in the description box down below. I will also link it at Snif. Now at Snif, you're gonna pay the full price, which is $65. So even though I don't think it's really Sweet Ash season right now, I feel like this is a really great fragrance for the fall and the winter. So if you're maybe thinking ahead about fall fragrances, and I know we're like barely into spring, but I don't know, I'm always thinking ahead to the different seasons. But yeah, this is gonna be a really great fragrance for the colder weather months, I feel like, for a lot of you. So anyway, if you want it for 50% off, I'll link it at Ulta down below. Pop it in your cart, and then don't forget to check out on March 23rd. So, all right, you guys, let's get into the usual fragrance description here. Let's see here. All right, so Sweet Ash Eau de Toilette. These are Eau de Toilettes, but don't let that scare you off. They perform, I think, almost like most of my eau de parfum fragrances do. So don't be scared off by the eau de toilette classification of these. They have great projection, and they actually have pretty great lasting power. So again, Snif Sweet Ash Eau de Toilette is a sweet, earthy scent that goes from inviting to addictive fast with juniper, fir balsam, tonka, vanilla, and white moss. This is considered an aromatic, woody, ambery fragrance. The key notes are, so at the top we have the juniper, the bergamot zest, and the fresh aromatic blend. The dry down is white moss, Bushman's candle, patchouli, and cashmere woods. So let's go ahead and do a fresh spray, and then I'm going to tell you what my nose picks up. But keep in mind, every nose is different. You might focus on some of the other fragrance notes in this particular concoction, but as long as you feel like the vast majority of the fragrance notes agree with what you normally tend to gravitate towards, I think you should give this one a try. I love this fragrance on Craig. I'm actually gonna put this bottle on his side of the closet. I want him to wear this. I love the way this smells on my husband. It just smells like, it's a pretty masculine fragrance, but it's just so warm and cozy in a manly kind of way. So, all right, let's go ahead and spray it. I will say I love the packaging here because not only is this magnetic, but check out this sprayer. Are you ready? Ah, did you see that beautiful distribution? It's the nicest mist. I don't feel like I have perfume running down my arm. I love it. These sprayers, I think, are some of the best, and they're very consistent across all of the fragrances so far, so I think that's a good sign. But what does my nose pick up? So let's go through the notes again, and I'm gonna kind of point out where my nose travels. Ooh, it's that juniper and the bergamot right away. That hits me so hard, and I think that's probably what kicks off the slightly more masculine vibe to this one. Craig has a number of fragrances on his side of the closet that do have a juniper base to them. And so I'm very familiar with that, and I'm really picking it up here. It goes right into the bergamot. So you have almost like, bergamot to my nose is like I like to think of it as like a manly type of citrus fragrance note, and it blends so well with that juniper in here, you guys. Next, it definitely goes into, I think it goes into the tonka. Tonka to my nose is almost like a smoky vanilla, if you will. I don't really get much of like just the regular kind of sweeter vanilla here. This is not a sweet fragrance at all. Listen, this is normally not what I gravitate towards. So a lot of my perfume recommendations in the past have been sweeter florals, sweeter gourmand type fragrances. I certainly like some fresh scents. I do love me some patchouli and amber. So I can definitely go with that vibe, but definitely not this time of year. It just kind of feels wrong for me personally. But that being said, I think this could smell great on Craig this time of year for sure. Oh, there's some definite patchouli in here, but listen, it's not like this super dirty, hippie, super earthy patchouli. It's more of like a white, more perfumey patchouli for sure. There is a woodiness to this as well, and I think the woodiness with the tonka is probably where they're getting the name for this, which is like that sweet ash type note. But I don't want to imply that this is like a sweet fragrance. There's a little bit of smokiness, there's a little bit of woodiness, there is a healthy dose of juniper and a healthy dose of bergamot here. And it's really lovely. It's really, I like this a lot. I don't love it on me as much as I love it on my husband. I think it smells so good on him. Now, I have worn this just to be able to test, you know, the overall wear. It is amazing in terms of how long this eau de toilette lasts on me. Typical eau de toilettes in the past for me, after about 2-3 hours, I'm just like, I kind of feel like I want to reapply. This, a minimum of about 5 hours, and I can still smell it on my skin. It definitely, at that point, it's time to freshen it up. But for the most part, a lot of my eau de parfums at around the 5-hour mark, I want to touch them up. So as far as, you know, this being an eau de toilette, again, don't let that scare you off. It's still worth trying. There is a really like long wear time for this one on me. And I think the overall projection of it is really lovely as well. That being said, one of my favorite things to do is to pair it with the Vanilla 28, which is definitely a warmer, slightly smokier vanilla. Ooh, I like the sprayer on this one too. Oh, these two together. Listen, my friends. This actually turns it much into a slightly sweeter fragrance, and it makes it smell a little bit more feminine to my nose, and it makes me enjoy it a little bit more. I just like this so much. Those two together, I think these two belong together. Now, I'm not saying you have to go out and buy both. Hopefully you're just perfectly content with the sweet ash, but it's just not quite sweet enough for my personal preference. That being said, the performance of it is stellar, and I would absolutely recommend checking it out. Put it in your cart if you're interested and buy it for 50% off on March 23rd. Like, there is no reason to buy it for full price if you don't have to. So no pressure, obviously. If you're not in the market for a new perfume right now, you know, wait. It might come around again during the next Ulta sale. And the way that they're running these sales right now, I feel like they're trying to compete with a lot of Sephora's sales. And so I have a feeling we're gonna see a sale like this one again in the fall, and there could be a very good chance that this one is included again, or maybe they'll include all of the Snif fragrances. I don't know, but I tell you what, the price point of this at half off, I think it's like, if you want it, I would get it then. So overall for me, it's not something that I personally am going to be repurchasing for me. But if this is the type of fragrance that you gravitate towards, I can tell you that I love the overall performance of it. I think it's incredibly well done. I think that you'll really enjoy it. So check it out if you're interested. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you tried the Sweet Ash. And also be sure to let other people know if you have any of the other Snif fragrances, how you feel about them. Leave it in the comments, and be sure to check out the description box for links to the other Snif reviews that are already up on my channel, as well as a link to where to find this at Ulta so that you can put it in your cart and get it for 50% off on March 23rd. All right, you guys, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.